Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Lock-In Podcast with your favorite daughter. We have so much to talk about, and so we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to just break down all of the breaking news and the recent news in general. And then Dad is going to come in and he is going to give his college football week predictions. It's officially week 1 starting this weekend, so Dad will give us all of his breakdowns, all of his score predictions, and player predictions on their expectations as well. So let's just get straight into it. Breaking news, yes, everybody knows Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. Clap it up for her, clap it up for him. I know all the Swiftie fans are freaking out and the Chief fans are freaking out. Am I a Chief fan? No, but congratulations to them. I think it'll be great in that wedding. I just can't even talk about it. Plus, if they win a Super Bowl plus a wedding that year, I can't even think about listening to Chiefs fans. So we're going to put that on pause. But congratulations to them. They are just breaking the internet as usual because those fans are tight with them. Another breaking news, not so happy. Rashee Rice. Okay. I have mixed feelings, right? So the Chiefs, you have a wedding coming up, but then you also have a 6-game suspension of one of your top receivers. So basically all of that started in the NFL. Basically was like, we're coming out 6-game suspension. That's what it is. And I think that's hard for Kansas City to wrap their heads around because they actually need him. But this all stemmed from the 2024 offseason crash that he actually caused in Dallas. And so even with that, that's right on top of his 5 years of probation as well that he has to serve. So it's not ideal for him, but it could have been worse. You still get half of the season to play. Majority of those games probably will be towards the end of the season when they need him the most. Kansas City will be fine without him. It just still sucks. So Kansas City, you have the good and you have the bad, which is per usual. Sometimes you guys win a Super Bowl, sometimes you guys don't. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now let's hop over to the NBA. NBA is kind of in good news. Not much is happening over there, but we are having 2 celebrations in the NBA. John Wall, he's retiring. He's done. I feel like it was his time. I mean, everybody knows John Wall. We know the Dougie, okay? But he hasn't done much in a while. So he is officially retiring, and he's amazing, and we wish him the best in his retirement. And another thing that's retiring is Chicago Bulls are retiring the number 1 jersey for Derrick Rose. And I mean, that's huge. It's well-deserved. I think everyone has seen that one video of him finding out he got traded from Chicago, and it breaks your heart. If you haven't seen it, you literally have to go see it because it's so sad. But I know Chicago has his heart, and he even did a whole mural there. It's huge. So that will be happy for both of them to celebrate. They're retiring. And I think the NBA is weird because right now there's nothing going on, but there's still chatter within the NBA. And they're coming up soon, so let's not forget about them just yet. Going back now to the NFL. Okay, guys, we have to break this down just a little bit. I know we've been talking fast because all of those were quick points. The NFL now. Daniel Jones is the Colts starting quarterback. So that's 11 quarterbacks since Andrew Luck retired. Okay. That means Anthony Richardson, their young, supposed to be vibrant QB, is not starting. Colts, I'm just confused. I just don't know. Guys, I'm in Indianapolis, it's where I live now, and you would think that there's not a football team here. You would think it's just blue and yellow for the Pacers. It makes absolutely no sense that the Colts cannot create a franchise team. It doesn't make sense to me. And you draft Anthony Richardson, which is supposed to be great, exciting, 4th pick of the draft, insane. Now he's not athletic. Now he doesn't have the reps. He wasn't ever ready. He wasn't mentally prepared. He taps out in the middle of a game. It's just not giving whoever's picking the quarterback is doing their job. Does that mean there needs to be a front office switch? Maybe. Does that mean there needs to be someone new in the front office or coaching staff? Maybe. That's just my prediction. Maybe we stop switching out these QBs and we start switching out our front office. I feel like that's what it's giving. But Daniel Jones, I'm not mad at it. I mean, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a Daniel Jones. I don't think so. But who knows? Anthony Richardson, and even then the press seemed like it was the best decision for them. He said he honors their decision. So he's going to watch them probably crash and burn and probably laugh on the sidelines. Anyway, so that's it with the Colts. But then another QB that's just going to announce, Joe Flacco is going to start for the Browns. And I'm not mad at it. Shedeur Sanders, everybody wanted that hype. Everybody wanted him to start. But I feel like it is smart to hold him back to wait. You do not want your rookie QB, who you're relying on to maybe last you longer than Joe Flacco, to get hurt in season 1. And he'll learn, he'll get some experience. And I feel like we will see Sanders out there here and there in the season. I feel like we will. Give him some reps. I mean, it's the Browns. It's not giving Super Bowl. So I feel like after maybe like a couple losses, they'll put Shedeur Sanders in there. But I do feel like it's smart for Sanders. And I do feel like the Browns are going to use him. They like him. They liked him in preseason. Just pause on him for a little bit. Get Joe Flacco, who has all the experience that you need when going into a season where a team that's trying to rebuild, it just makes the most sense. On the not so good side for the Sander family, Shiloh Sanders has been officially waived. And this comes after punches were thrown against in the preseason game against the Bills. And I think what's interesting is I feel like they were looking for a reason to waive him, because honestly, he wasn't doing bad in preseason games. I was impressed. Everyone was kind of like, okay, let's not forget about Shiloh. But the minute that happened and that mistake, he gets waived. And I do feel like there might have been something in the inside that we don't see, and there's something in the front office that they were dealing with him for a while that maybe we just didn't get to experience as fans. But it's super, I think, a bummer. But then you see Deion Sanders saying, God's plan, and he's going to be fine, and he doesn't need football, but I feel like he does. It's just my opinion. But I do feel sad for Shiloh. I feel like that would have been a good opportunity for him to get out of the shadow of his brother, but it is what it is. You can't throw punches in the NFL. It doesn't really make sense because they have helmets on and you can't even really hurt them. Anyway, not the point. It's just move on from that. And then another point for the NFL, which I feel like this is something that you will just never get solved. It will never make sense, because I love the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. So I don't even look at the mess from the team, but you can't ignore Jerry Jones in person, Micah Parson. I just, that's one of your star players, and we're still confused on how he's on the team. He's not on the team. He might be on the team. He's not on the team. Jerry Jones seems confident. Nope, he'll play. He's gonna be fine, guys. But then, is he? Like, I'm just confused, because the Cowboys are like one of the biggest named franchises, but you never really excel in a season. So right now is maybe not the time to be risking one of your star players. It's just my opinion. I mean, you still have Dak Prescott, which hopefully he leaves sometime soon so they can move on and maybe grow. But I'm just confused on why we're still debating between if our star player should be there or not. Just wondering, Jerry. Because Cowboy fans ride hard. Cowboy fans ride hard for their players, okay, guys? And so I feel like I'm just confused on why Jerry's not riding hard for his. Again, it's like all hail Jerry Jones in Dallas, so you can't even be mad at him. You can't even be mad at him. But to now, the big thing, me and Dad have been talking about this, guys, for so long, and we're finally here, and I feel like there's a brisk in the air, but it's officially time to say college football week 1 is here. It's here. Week 1 is here, guys. This weekend. It's official. And so I just want to mention, though, before you even go into the good stuff, Michigan is dealing with all of their fines from the NCAA. Their infraction ruling, like $20 million fine. So the Michigan's like trying to get into the season, but also dealing with these fines, possible game suspensions for head coach Sharon Moore. Are you here with us? So that's all part of the process too. I mean, you hope Michigan can have a fair season because I think their opponents want that too. But you also have to play fair, Wolverines. Thank you. Anyway, on that note, big week this week. And the top games, which I said Dad's going to give all his predictions, guys. He's going to break it down all for you. But top games. It starts off with number 25, Boise State. Like, I'm not mad that they're top 25. They just, I feel like that's just, they're not going to stay in top 25, in my opinion. Everyone calm down if you're from Boise State, in my opinion. Another thing that plays, number 12, Illinois kicks off on Friday. You know, I'm all for Big Ten, so go Illinois. I don't know how they're gonna play. It's probably gonna be an easy game for them, but I don't have like that much expectations. But the main game, number 1 Texas versus number 3 Ohio State, noon Saturday. Clutching my pearls. Like, I cannot wait for that game. It sucks if you play during that time period of like 12 to 2:30 because no one's watching your game. Respectfully, everybody's watching that game unless it's a blowout. Like at halftime, if Texas or Ohio is up by 30, I'm literally gonna be sick to my stomach. But I hope that game's a close game because I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith better go off. I'm excited for Texas because where's Arch Manning at? The humble king. He's going to have to come out and produce. So I'm so excited for that game. That's going to be the main watch. But let's not forget, number 9 LSU goes against number 4 Clemson. Huge. Hypothetical, if Ohio State loses and Clemson wins, most likely Clemson will now go over Ohio State, which would be the first time Clemson's ranked higher than Ohio State since 2018. It's giving like Trevor Lawrence era, where it's Clemson, LSU, like Georgia, Bama, the 4, like the big 4. Like, I need it. I'm itching for it. I cannot wait. And then there's number 6 Notre Dame versus number 10 Miami. This is how I feel. Notre Dame's a powerhouse. I have no doubt that they'll continue to be that. But I'm excited for Miami. Carson Beck leaves Georgia and goes to Miami. I think he has full potential to raise Miami up and totally make them succeed. So I'm super excited for that game. And I feel like that's a sleeper game no one's talking about, but that game is going to be huge. So don't forget that game. Okay, thank you. And then you have number 5, Georgia, and number 8, Bama are also playing. They're not playing each other, but they're playing separate games, but they're also playing. So you will be able to see your top like 15 teams in the AP poll all playing. You get a feel of what they're playing, like their defense, their offense, their quarterbacks, the receivers, everything. You'll be able to break it down after week 1. And I'm so excited for it. I'm not going to give any of my predictions. I'm keeping them to myself. But Dad is going to break down all his predictions for those top games I just mentioned. And he's going to go into what he feels like Arch Manning's going to produce. Is Carson Beck going to produce better than Arch Manning? Is Jeremiah Smith going to produce he's supposed to for the Buckeyes in year 2? There's just gonna be a lot to talk about. It's just a lot to talk about. But that's where my eyes will be glued on this weekend. But you guys should be glued on Lock In Podcast because we are going to continue to upload every week. You guys are going to get our episodes on YouTube, on Apple Music. Make sure you're on all of our social medias. Dad will be posting his predictions on our TikTok and our Instagram Reels. Now I'll have my main video on our YouTube page. But as always, we love you guys. We love Lock In Podcast. We're so happy to do it. And we keep producing the best content for you guys. And we love you. And we'll see you next week.